Hey, hey,
お願いします。
します。よいしょ。はい、right side. Get the shoulders. So, circles. And tight. Wait. And back. Well, wait. Finish. Cross. Finish. Open and close. Wait. That's a lot deep. Finish. Wait. Beautiful. Cheap. Cool. Hey. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Cool. Hey. Change. Back. Cross. Right. Down. Jungs. Bench. Right, double. Sideways. Right. Dose. Gi. Ko. Gi. Ko. And gi. Ko. Right. Alright. Then you keep forward. Play your knees and knees back. And open your knees. And roll your fists down. Almost touching knees. Going back. Opening knees. Fists down. Almost touching knees. Back. Opening knees. Down. Almost touching knees. Down. Opening knees. So. Right, keeps up. Nice 5. Right. And go right. 8. Side. Eight down. Bench. Up. Bench. Hands in front. Bench. Eat. Relax. Oh. And back. Forward. Hips up. Down. Hips up. Hips down. Hips up. Hips down. And back. And forward again. Hips up. Pushing forward. Into plank position. And slow push down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turning up. Hips up again. Pushing to your toes again. Into plank position. Slow push down again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turning up. Now hips up again. Pushing to your toes again. Plank position. One more time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. Toes up. Hips up. Plank position one more time. Shoulder taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And jump again. Go. And up. All right, so now this time, legs going back. Your hands are going to be here. You're going to stretch, put your knee down, bring it up to the front. Okay, depending on your knee or leg capacity, you may go down just halfway and come up. So that will be a halfway down and come up, or you can come all the way down and come up. Given that we go down and up out of our Ukemi exercise, toeless. So remember that's something that we need to remember, that when we take Ukemi, we don't put our foot normally. We have to go flat on our foot and then boom and take Ukemi. And the same thing when we exit from our Ukemi. Again, all of this is dependent. If our leg condition is good in terms of this good health on the knee and on the muscles, and then we don't need the toes at the back. We push forward and we exit. If our leg condition is recovering from some condition, some situation, then it's okay to use your toes. Okay, even to use your own hands. Find the support and then get up with the support. Okay, so it just depends what condition your leg is in. Okay, but again, if your condition is not also very good, just doing halfways. Okay, halfways. In this case, you are using your toes at the back. Okay, then it's gonna be okay. Otherwise, you can go down all the way to your knee. Careful with your knees. Okay, so 1, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And all right. Hey. Ukemi, in box position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next one, chin box with extension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, to standard stand up. So just tuck and post. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Simple Ukemi preparation. Okay, simple Ukemi. Remember, first is leg and arm extension, and then is extension and tucking. Okay, but first leg and arm extension. The important of the leg and arm extension is that it engages your core muscles, raises them, which is important preparation for your simple Ukemi. Okay, so and 1, change, 2, full extension of the hand, full extension of the arm. So 3, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same thing, but this time you're going to extend and then tuck. So extension and then tucking. 1, so 2. Don't tuck straight away. Extend first. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lay down on your back. Knees together, or side to side, to decompress the back. Okay, this time opening your legs, bend your knees, engage your core muscles, and raise your hips. Okay, and extend your hand above your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Engage core muscles, raise hips, and above the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Core muscles, engage muscles, hip up, above the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Core muscles, hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Core muscles, hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Core muscles, hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the basic glute bridge. So just bend your knees, put your hands down, ideally, and just hips up, hips thrust. Just sending your hips up, try to keep your hands on the ground. Okay. So 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Okay, so now try to bring your legs closer to your butt. Okay, so you're going to be on your tippy toes. You're going to raise your legs. Now bring your glutes as close to your heels as possible, and your abs in a circle, and just going side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. And relax. Again, legs side to side. Extend your legs. Hands on your head. Raise your head. raise your legs and shaking from the hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. One more time. Raise head, raise legs, and shake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. One more time. Head, feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. So, turning around, facing down. And scorpions, raise your knee, raise your leg, raise your hip, move to one side. Down, raise leg, raise hip, the other side. Down, raise leg, raise hip, one side. Down, leg, hip, side. Down, leg, hip, side. Down, leg, hip, side. Now, release, back stretch. And you go. Okay, so all of these exercises are preparatory exercises for Ukemi practice. And there are little exercises before we start rolling and moving. And we roll a little bit with the shin boxes. But before I start doing any roll, it's never enough the amount of maintenance that we have to do on our body, which includes all of these little preparatory exercises for the cores, for the hips, for the joints, and so on. So as much as we can do these ones, which are not terribly taxing, but at least they keep a basic kind of scanning of our body, of essential parts of our practice, of our body, how it's feeling, so our Ukemi is possible. If any of these parts of the body is struggling, it's better to put attention to that part of the body, nourish it, look after it, recover it, improve it, before trying to do too much of Ukemi, because otherwise that's when injuries or discomfort or injuries can arise. Okay, so it's important to kind of keep a more or less a routine of self check all the time. Otherwise, simple Ukemis and break falls and things like that become just nonsensical. All right, so this week we've been working a lot in, again, we're still doing our basics, and this week we've been focusing a lot in Dori Hanmi, Dori Hanmi forms. Okay, so now I need to remember one thing: the two most fundamental tools of practice that we have is Dori Hanmi, okay, and Dori Hanmi. Okay, so those two are two very fundamental forms of exercise. I think everybody begins or should begin with the practice of that. Now, the fact that they potentially have a functional element, such as what happens if someone runs from the wrist story, it just doesn't do justice to the importance of that practice just in isolation, right? So, as I mentioned many times, it's a little bit like the boxer has the speedball or the punching bag, right? The karate person has the makiwara, which is the board that they just hit over and over and over. Those things are basic tools to practice basic ideas of their art, basic conditioning ideas of the art. Nobody judges the functionality of practicing 1 hour on the punching bag. It's like, well, why do you do that? Nobody will just stand up there and let you punch them, So, or things like that. And to a certain extent, it's understandable, because the difference is that the punching bag, the speedball, and the makiwara are objects. So, like, well, nobody is expecting the punching bag to do anything else. The punching bag is just there, it's a punching bag. So, but in our basic training, we don't train against objects. Against is not the best word, but we don't train with objects, we train with individuals. So because my makiwara, my punching bag, but is my partner, and my partner can make decisions, then our most basic form of practice gets questioned about the decisions that my partner could make. Or what if they let go? What if they don't grab? What if there's all of these elements that come with practicing with a person. But again, that's why it's a similar kind of set of tools, but it's not a fair comparison. It's just that we are lucky enough to be able to practice with a human being as opposed to rely on a punching bag or people. There is other issues with it, but in principle, my point is the fact that we have something like Hanmi no Kamae, which is a basic form of practice, and the fact that this interaction, this picture could be something then extrapolated. Well, what happens if someone grabs your hand? What do you do? It's not really the point of practicing Katate Dori, Yaku Hanmi, or Aihanmi techniques, right? The point of practicing Katate Dori, Aihanmi, or Yaku Hanmi techniques is to understand the basic mechanics of Nagewasa. How does the technique in its most basic form works before we add spaces and distance and speeds and forces and things like that. And from the Ukemi perspective, is the closest that I can be to be connected already to my partner and learn to follow and learn to adjust and learn to adapt to what my partner is doing. Is so essential that it's hard to underestimate its importance in our learning process. Again, the problem is that it immediately becomes the temptation of saying, "Oh, that's a defense against somebody grabbing me from the hand," and you go, "Well, yeah, probably, but that's not the initial purpose of the thing." So that's the good thing. Now, the bad thing about the especially Katate Dori Aihanmi techniques is that they basically are all the forms that then we can learn to do with something like Shomenuchi. Okay, usually, Shomenuchis can also be made in Yaku Hanmi, but usually Shomenuchis are somehow made in an Aihanmi position. Okay, Yaku Hanmis, okay, usually are things that we can do against Yokomenuchi. Yokomenuchis are usually made in a Yaku Hanmi position. A lot of the lessons, so whenever you have a problem with a Shomenuchi technique, see if you can go back to its Aihanmi form. And whenever you have a problem in a Yokomenuchi technique, see if you can go back to its Yaku Hanmi form. That's kind of the easy learning pathway backwards to simplicity, right? So if I go here and I go Shomenuchi, and if I here, down, and turn, boom, and I go like, oh, how do I do that? And then I go Yaku Hanmi, like, oh, okay, maybe if I just turn, grab, and go, like, oh, okay, so that's basically the same thing, but before all the elements that come with movement. So Yaku Hanmi technique, Aihanmi techniques have very similar structures of Shomenuchi techniques. That's how we learn them back. Now, the only problem about Yaku Hanmi techniques is that, of Aihanmi techniques, is that because we're connected with the hands, for example, if we do Ikkyo, if I enter here and apply Ikkyo, I'm learning that this hand is at the level of this hand and that this hand is at the level of the elbow. Yeah, so because we're connecting hand to hand. But when we do Shomenuchi, we need to remember that both hands are at the level of the elbow. What happens is if we carry too much the practice of Aihanmi into Shomenuchi, is that at the end we do this. One hand at the level of the hand, the other hand at the level of the elbow, and then we do our thing. And so, well, why? Because Aihanmi has that. Hand, level of hand, level of elbow. So the problem with Aihanmi forms is that they teach us too much to be at the level of the hands. And just be aware of that, okay? When the most important thing to do is to be as close to the body as possible, okay? So anyway, so that's kind of the good thing about Aihanmi things is that they send us backwards into a simpler format of practice, you know, for Shomenuchi techniques. And the not so good thing is that Katate Dori Aihanmi forms teaches us to be at the level of the hand, where we should really be closer to the level of the body. Okay, so just be aware of those things. Okay, so during the week we did a few things. For example, you know, Ikkyo, so Nikyo, Sankyo, and Yonkyo. So we're going to review those things with your tanto, just to put emphasis on the most important thing of those four things. Okay. So we Ikkyo, let's just practice with your tanto in natural position. With Ikkyo, the most important thing is to enter and to perform Tai Savaki. Move the spine, move the spine. Okay, so to enter and to perform Tai Savaki. Okay, use your spine, your feet. Enter, Tai Savaki. Enter, so. In that case, it's the spine. Enter. That's omote. Entering. Enter. Tai Savaki. Enter. Tai Savaki. That's for omote. And for ura, the most important thing is to use your hips. Enter. Jigo Tai. And then after that, you slide out. Your hips. Enter. Lower your hips. Slide out. Enter. Lower your hips. And out. Enter. Lower hips. Slide out. Okay. Remember, in the Ikkyo form, your Ashi Sabaki, your body, your feet, or sorry, your body movement has effectively three sections, right? For example, on the omote, you slide in first, meet the person. Then you apply your Tai Savaki, which is to move your spine. And then after that, you apply your step. Again, usually it's first one. 1, 2, and then you control. Okay? So first movement positions you correctly, as deep as possible to your partner. Second movement uses the spine to control your partner's spine. Once the partner's spine is controlled, third movement is the stepping forward and stepping forward in order to just finish the control. So those three phases, please. Position with the slide. First control with the spine. Second control with 2 steps. Okay. So first one, position. First control with the spine. Second control with 1 step, 2 steps, and that. Okay. So remember, pay attention to how instructors teach the techniques, because we did mistake when person say what's coming, and I just keep playing with it, and we keep making the same mistake. Not all techniques finish in your knees, right? If the instructor demonstrates the final motion here, then it finishes there. But if the instructor, as I'm doing at the moment, demonstrates the final technique in there, it finishes in there. Don't do automatic things, because one doesn't say got upset last time when he was here, where he demonstrated something like this, and then everybody was finishing on their knees, and he turned around and asked me, why is everybody finishing on their knees? You know, and I was like, oh, because that's what we usually do. Yeah, but that's not what I did. And that's a very important, call back to presence. It's super important. It's very easy for us to just go, oh, but that's what we always do. Okay, and that's never a good answer. That's never a good answer. The entire purpose of training is to be present. Okay, so at the moment, don't go on your knees, stay on hand. Okay, so position yourself. First control. Step 1, step 2, control. Side. Position yourself. First control. Step 1, step 2, control. Position. Control 1. Begin. 2. Control. Okay, so now for the ura, there's also 3 phases. The first phase is the same. Position yourself behind your partner. Or in this case, lower your hips. Second phase, control. Third, move to the side for second control. Okay, so it's the same thing, 3 phases. First phase, position. Second phase, control by lowering the hips. Third phase, second control by sliding out. And that. First phase, position. First control. Second control. Down. Position. First control. Second control. Position. First control, second control. Position. First control, second control. One more. Position. First control, second control. Especially the Uda form, okay, with the lowering of the hips is a very important thing because that will be a fundamental element of Sankyo, which we'll do in a minute. Okay, so that's why it's very important to practice it before we get to Sankyo. We practice it every time that we do Ikkyo Uda. Okay, so now again, anyway, so Ikkyo reminds us or teaches us from the beginning the importance of the use of the spine and the importance of the use of the hips. Okay, so Nikkyo. The title is grab it the other way around. You have Hanmi. Person is in front of you. You enter, and from this chevron, as one of they calls it, which is a diagonal movement. Okay, going from one side to the other. Very important because many Nikkyos finish here or around or something. Let's say it goes from one diagonal, cutting to the other side. So it's a diagonal movement that brings Nikkyo in. Okay, so enter, second hand on top, and chevron, diagonal. Enter, second hand on top, and chevron, diagonal. Enter, second hand, chevron. Enter, second hand, chevron. So remember, when you do your Nikkyo, the bottom hand keeps the elbow closer to the body. Do get that? The second hand, okay, the second hand is basically, keeping this elbow up. So her elbow has to be up by the time I perform my movement. Okay. So here, this hand is inviting or forcing her elbow to be up. Okay. If her elbow goes down, and everything goes down, she reverses the entire motion. Okay. So the elbow is up. Okay. Because if her elbow goes down, she reverses the motion into. Anybody who has elbows close to the body has a stronger structural position. Okay. So please, elbow up. Enter. Second hand up. Visualizing you're keeping your opponent's elbow up and moving diagonal. Enter, second hand up, and diagonal. Again, enter, second hand up, diagonal. Enter, second hand up. Okay, we'll have to finish here because we're running out of time. The next exercise was just the continuation of Sankyo and Jonkyo. Just a very quick note on that. With Sankyo, okay, the importance, especially we're performing something like Ushiro Ryo Tekui Dori or Ushiro Ri or Ushiro Kubijime, lower your hips. Then on top. So that's why I was mentioning the importance of the hips being used in Nikkyo. Okay. And for Jonkyo, okay, so the important thing in Sankyo is use your hips, lower them. And for Jonkyo, the important thing is to have a clear and committed cut of the arm. Many times we focus too much, excessively and unnecessarily, on finding the sore spot on Jonkyo. That's at some point we need to kind of win ourselves of that because the most important thing is to grab the arm and cut a committed cut down to control the person's arm. If in the process of that movement we find the little nerve thing on the hand, then well that's fine, I guess. But the important thing is not to find the little nerve on the hand. The important thing is to have a committed full control of your partner's arm. So next time that you have a chance to practice Jonkyo, focus a little bit on that. はい。はい。
どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Thank you.